Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's clip, I'd like to talk about the upcoming DJI launch event in New York City on November 28th. Now, the announcement for that event caught me totally by surprise because I was completely convinced that DJI had released so many products across a wide variety of categories this year that they couldn't possibly have anything left on their launch schedule for 2018. I was actually looking forward to relaxing in November and December, kind of flying my quads and sliding into 2019 and hoping for something coming up in the spring. And man, was I wrong. So this event coming up in 4 days promises to be an incredibly exciting product. Now, I have no inside information on what they're releasing, but I'm very excited about the technology that DJI brings to the market. And I know a lot of people think you're a DJI fanboy, Rick. Of course you're going to love their products. The only reason I'm a fanboy of their technology is because I'm an engineer. And when I look at what they build, they take the time to think it through. They're pushing this hobby in different areas that other companies aren't exploring yet. They're really breaking new ground in a lot of cases, and I'm very, very excited to see what they may have coming at this event. All right, so the event itself, just like a lot of their events, has a limited seating capacity. So a lot of times when they have events, I'm lucky enough to be invited to the event. I'm happy to go. I love being there to see the thing live and get a chance to interview people and talk about the product, see the product firsthand. And I was really hoping to be invited to this event. But I saw the announcement come out on Twitter. I kind of waited by the email for the invitation to show up, and it didn't show up. And then I saw other people talking about how they'd been invited and they'd responded, and I was starting to get a little bummed. And I'm thinking, okay, I can't be at every event, so I'll just, watch it like everybody else on the web, and I'll get a feel for what the product is. Maybe I'll order it if it's something interesting, and I'll review it on the channel. So I was okay. I mean, I'm glad to be there when they invite me. If they don't invite me, no hard feelings. I know there's some secret algorithm their marketing guys use to figure out what's going on with that event. So I thought, okay, I can be a little annoying, so why don't I just send them an email and say, hey, I don't know if you forgot me or not, but I didn't get an invite. Any chance you could sneak me into the event? And they were great. They got right back to me and said, hey, Rick, we'd love to have you at the event, but we have really small seating in the space. It's already packed. We can't possibly fit another person in there. So we'd love to have you, but we really can't fit you in this event. No hard feelings. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. As much as I'd love to have been there, the fact that I'm not going, but I can see it on the web like everybody else, that's cool enough for me. So I'm fine. But then about 4 days ago, I got an email from another division of DJI that said, hey, Rick, we found seats for you. Would you like to come to the event in New York City? And I'm thinking, yeah, I'd like to be at the event in New York City. So I got the invitation and I'm going to the event. So the reason I'm doing this clip is twofold. Number one, I want you guys to drop in the comments below questions you want me to ask the people at DJI, because I love walking around with a microphone and a camera, trying to pin down as many executives as I can and ask the questions you guys want to have answered. That's one of the things I love to do with this channel, is to make sure you get the access you need to these events and the people that are building these quads. So take a minute, go down to the comments, drop in any questions you want me to try to work through with those guys. I'll compile a list, I'll take it with me to the event, and I'll try to get as many of those questions answered as possible. The second thing I wanted to talk about was maybe the products they're going to release. And again, I have no advanced information on this, but let's speculate a little bit. So if you guys have an idea what you think they're going to release, drop that in the comments below and we can have a conversation going for the next 3 or 4 days, and then we'll all know what they're going to release. But when you think about this company, it's incredible to me that a company can come out with as many products as they come out across the broad mix of different markets out there. So let's just think about 2018 from DJI's release schedule. They've released the Mavic Air, the Mavic 2, both the Pro and the Zoom, and even though they're similar, they're different. The Phantom 4 Pro V2.0, the Ronin S, the Osmo Mobile 2, and the Mavic 2 Enterprise. They've got so many things going on inside this company that any other company that they compete with in any of those market segments will come out with one product in a year, maybe only one product every 2 years. So for DJI to come out with all these products in one calendar year is just astounding to me. It really is blowing me away. So what could they possibly have left? Let's speculate a little bit. So there's probably 5 things that I think have a possibility of being announced at this launch. And again, I have no idea if any of these are going to show up. Maybe all of them will show up, but it's kind of fun to talk about. So let's talk about the technology. So one of the things people have been rambling on about for the last year and a half is the Phantom 5. Now, I think they're due for an upgrade. The Phantom 4 Pro V2 is a great product, but we've seen a lot of leaks and stuff around the Phantom 5. So maybe they'll release the Phantom 5. I don't know if that's really a good bet because we're so close to the end of the year that I think the Mavic 2 is doing so well that they're probably going to stay away from the Phantom 5, maybe release it in the springtime, but who knows, maybe the Phantom 5 will show up. Another one that it could be would be a racing drone. Now, I've talked about this the last couple of times. DJI sponsors racing events for racing drones, FPV drones. They make motors, they make speed controls, they make props, they make frames. Everything they need to build a racing drone, including the RE goggles, are already out there, but they've never released a racing drone. So maybe this is an event where they're going to release a racing drone and try to capture that market. It's kind of a parallel parallel market to what they're doing with the quads, and maybe they'll have a product in that space. So let's see if that's going to happen. A lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with the Spark. The Spark's been out a while now. It's a great product, but there's been a few products that have been released that are similar to the Spark that are starting to nibble away at that market space. So maybe the Spark's ready for an upgrade, and we'll see a Spark 2 released at this event. It would kind of make sense to come out with it this time of year. They could borrow a lot of the technology from the Mavic and move it downstream to the Spark, so maybe we'll see it there. The Osmo's due for an update. So the Osmo, the integrated Osmo's been out for a while. Maybe there's a new Osmo coming. There's been a lot of speculation about certain versions of the Osmo coming out. I know the Osmo Mobile 2 just hit, so maybe there's some technology that's going to move over with a brand new Osmo coming out for the holidays. Who knows? Then the last thing I'll talk about is I've talked about this rover that they've had out. They've had patents on the rover. They have a RoboMasters competition. We've seen screenshots of actually pictures of the rovers that have been sold in Europe and overseas. I still believe that there's a terrestrial vehicle somewhere in the labs at DJI that's going to see the light of day. Maybe this event is that. I mean, think about taking a camera, a DSLR or some other camera, mounting it on this terrestrial vehicle and then driving it around to get those stabilized gimbal shots when you're doing photography outside. I think that would be an incredibly cool product. And building a platform like that that's extensible, where I can mount a bunch of different things on there, would be absolutely amazing. So maybe that's it. So that's my speculation. I don't want to make this clip too long because, again, we only have 4 days to the event, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, but I think one of those 5 are probably what you're going to see at this event, but we'll all know in 4 days. So please take a minute, drop your comments below, and any questions you want me to ask at the event. I'm thrilled to death to be going to this event, and I want to go there and represent you guys when I'm at the event. I just don't want to ask the questions Rick needs answered. I want to ask the questions you guys want answered. And if you have speculation, drop them in the comments below, and we'll get into a little conversation around it. So thanks an awful lot for watching. That's pretty much it for today. Until next time, happy flying.